DC here. Hi guys and gals. Well, hope you're all well. It is Monday, and I'm walking near the pond, which is not far from where I live. And I'm walking on the snow. Other people are walking. You see, there's a bike path, and people are walking there because the town takes care of the bicycles, but doesn't seem to take care of, the normal stiffs like myself. We can walk on ice. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. So, Dave, I hope you're well. I am here to do Dave Nicholson's last Saturday tag, and I keep on interrupting myself instead of doing the tag. So I hope you're well, Dave, and let's get to it. So there's 7 questions. Okay, question 1. Who do you love, and what are you doing about it? Okay. Well, my answers are pretty standard one. You all probably know it by now. My wife, my family, so it means my grandkids, my children, and myself. Yes. And do I love other people? Yes, I do. But what am I doing about it? Actually, I'm trying to live the golden rule and, be the best person I can be. Do I manage? Not all the time. Yes. So what am I doing about it? Trying and praying that I can be that person that I should be. Okay, let's leave it at that. Question 2. What's a belief that you hold with which many people disagree? Christianity. I didn't even say belief in God, because a lot of people believe in gods with little g's. But I was going to say, I guess I could say Christianity. And those of you who know me will probably agree with that. That's something that I say quite regularly. I won't extend on it in this question. Okay. Question 3. Let me see, where is it? Gotta go around the corner here. No bicycle. What can you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? Well, pretty much speak Spanish, or at least converse in Spanish. Not in an elegant way, far from it, but definitely I can converse and discuss and watch television shows or videos that are not, made for students. So in other words, Spanish shows or YouTube videos that are made for Spanish people. Yeah, I can do that. I wasn't able to a year ago. Question 4. Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? I think everybody's going to answer the same thing mostly. It's both. I think, as many people will say, there's a time for crying, definitely, and there's a time probably not to cry. But both are important. And the whole thing about real men don't cry is rubbish. Of course we do, and it's healthy. I tear up very easily, which is probably not always a good thing to do. Sometimes you got to show strength. Sometimes you do. But strength doesn't mean that you don't, you don't have a tear in your eye, or you don't actually cry. And I think there's a big difference also between crying and bawling out. Crying through pain, crying through pain. I don't mean physical pain automatically, although that can happen as well. But relational pain, deception, shame, stuff like that can happen. Of course it can. But there's also other times when you're just crying out of other times where you're just crying out of, I was going to say, indignation. That happens as well. So yeah, I kind of answered that. Question 5. What would you do differently if you knew nobody would judge you? Probably nothing. In my life as it is now, I think pretty much everything that I do, most of what I do at least I can think of, is pretty much in the family an open book, and actually a lot of it's an open book even online in that respect. What would I do? Well, I wonder if I would. I was having a discussion yesterday, a political discussion around the table. You know, the type of discussions people say, don't do it Thanksgiving. Well, you know, sometimes you hold back because you think, well, I want to keep this friendship going. Maybe sometimes I would let loose. Yeah. Question 6. Do you celebrate the things you have? Do I brag about them? No. Except for my family. Yeah. I like my family. And I celebrate. Are they things that I have? Well, not in the possessive way, but they're things that are part of me. So in that respect, I guess things. Maybe things are not. Should it say things? Do you celebrate? I think you remove the word things. You celebrate the things. Yeah. Well, if it's things, I don't celebrate things, but I will celebrate clearly relationships and family, and that's something that clearly yes. But celebrate things, no. Okay. And question 7 and last. What is the difference between living and existing? Sometimes you do both, don't you? But existing is just being there, isn't it? And living is part of being there. When you think about it, whenever you're living, you're enjoying your existence. When you're existing, well, you know, you're moving along and nothing more. You're kind of like part of the furniture, I guess. And when you're living, well, you're moving the furniture around. I think that's part of it. Can you be... well, I'll give you a small example. The other day, my mom had to move from one senior's residence to another. And she moved from a much smaller room to a much bigger room. But for the first 2 weeks that she was there, because it was on the Christmas period, she had no phone, no internet. Her only link to the family was when my sister would go over, and actually when I managed to find the telephone number of the unit where she was. So as she was telling me, she didn't use the word she was existing, but that's what she meant. So I mean, my mom's in a wheelchair. She's basically now handicapped, but at that small short period she was existing despite her, with her handicaps. As soon as she got internet again and a phone, and her life was all of a sudden open to the things that she liked doing, she was living again. Okay, so that's the way I kind of see it. Okay, is that it? It is, yes. So that'll be it. Thank you, Dave. Hope you have a good week, and that'll be DC signing off. Take care, everybody, and well, probably next week. Bye.